Hello, this is Dwight Wise, and I'm doing my presentation on target behavior and outcome criteria. And so, excuse me, I'm gonna be a uh, little, little dusty because taking this, I'm doing this video, at night, and I had a long day. But anyhow, here's the video of the presentation that I made. And my target behavior you see is spitting, eloping, and hitting. And my client or my fake client name is Little Johnny, who would spit directly at a person landing on any part of the individual body. He will collect a significant amount of saliva in his mouth to spit out as he uh, as soon as he would close to a person. Little Johnny would face the individual while spitting saliva on their clothes or face. So this is the first operational definition of the target behavior, which is spitting. And then the next one is I will address Little Johnny eloping from teachers or guardian. Here's the operational definition. During therapy, we will let uh, doing therapy, if you guys can see it, we would go for a walk in the clinic together, and Little Johnny would elope away from me if he sees something that catch his eye without permission. And you see the actual citation there. And the third target behavior I want to address is sitting nicely. Little Johnny cannot sit in a chair still for 1 minute. Here's the operational definition. He would most often refuse to sit in a chair. And when Little Johnny decides to sit down, he would move and turn to get out of his chair in less than 1 minute. So here we go. The next video, here's some background information on the client. The client, we know that he have various issues, and we know that he's Little Johnny. And then I completed a worksheet for him, and yep. And my relationship to him, this is make believe, a behavior analyst. And so that's all the information that we have of him, as far as background. Um, Steps taken to obtain consent from the guardian. We just simply did an interview with the parents, which is an indirect assessment. And so that's what we did to get direct consent. And of course, we had to ask for, permission to do the indirect assessment as well, direct assessment, where we observe the client face to face or in their natural environment. Social significance of the target behavior. One of the things that I use to find out the social significance of the target behavior is asking myself these questions. What is the relative importance of this target behavior to future skills development and independent functions? And we see here the criteria. The criteria from 4 to 1, and 4 being the highest. And we see that spitting is a high priority, eloping is number 2, and hitting is number 4. We see here the next one: how many opportunities will a person have to use this new skill in the natural environment, or how often does the problem behavior occur? And we see the ratings for this one as well. The next one is how long standing is the problem or skill deficit. And so based off the answer for these questions, you see that will determine the social significance of the target behavior based on a rating and what is important about it. Will changing this behavior produce a higher rate of reinforcement for the person? So if you can answer this question and you can get a high percentage for this question, then you are heading in the right direction. or any of these questions, for that sake. If you answer these questions and you get a high rating for any of these questions, then you know you head in the right direction and figuring out whether or not this target behavior is socially significant, and whether you should go forward in implementing the procedures to help the client to have a replacement behavior that's more appropriate, um, so that he can have a better outcome. He can become more independent. He can be able to use in any environment that's necessary for his everyday living. In the experiment and analyst, I'm going to show you a graph after this, but we see spinning is the highest challenge behavior for little Johnny. Spinning behavior occurred at a high frequency than hitting and biting. The graph indicates the spitting behavior has multiple functions. In a trial session of 2 minutes, I see little Johnny use spinning to escape when work is placed in front of him while sitting down. When he spits, I would end the work session. When I ignore little Johnny while pretending to work, he will spit in my face. This spitting occurrence here is seeking attention. Little Johnny likes to rub his spit on his face and place it on other, which reveal its sensory function as well. And so here's the results here. You see little Johnny frequency, and that will just kind of tell you, when you look at this particular graph results, it'll tell you the highest, when it comes to spitting or hitting or any other problem behavior that he has. And particularly for spitting, in sessions 1 through 15, you see that's the highest occasion of him spitting. And hitting, you see the highest occurrence of hitting is between session 10 through 15. And so that right there, it just shows what you call an extinction burst. Or it's another way of saying sometimes the behavior become worse before it gets better, because we see through session 15 through 20, we see that the behavior that we are targeting is getting lower. It's becoming less of a problem. So we see that the intervention that we put in place is helping. It's helping. And so and so we just got to think about that. We have to think about if our implementation of the intervention that we are using, is it actually helping, or is it not helping? And so that's why we go through these steps, to figure out, whether or not the behavior is the intervention that we are trying to put in place, is it relevant to the behavior, and is the behavior that we are trying to implement or replace, is it socially significant? Is it going to help the client in the long run? Is it going to further make the client more independent? So, I'm going back to this last slide, social significance of the target behavior. What is the relevant importance of this target behavior to future skill development and independence function? And so if you got to ask yourself these questions, and how many opportunities will a person have to use the new skill in a natural environment? Is this relevant to the client's everyday environment that they go to? The client may go to 4 places. He may go to the hospital. He may go to the store. He may go to church, or he may go to a public function. Is it relevant to those environments? And so you have to think about those things. And how often does the problem behavior occur? You have to ask yourself, does the problem behavior occur every day? Does the problem behavior occur once a month? And that will determine how significant, socially significant that behavior is, and whether or not we should focus on it. And so these are the things that we must think about. And so I wanted to skip down to the reference. Here's my reference. In the compassion compeller, the way I use that is, is really making sure that the implementation of the intervention, we have to make sure that our treatment plan is lined up with the compassion code, and that goes back to the social validity of the treatment plan. That will definitely help us implement the compassion code in any treatment plan that we use. And so I hope I explained everything clearly. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.